And we're off. All right, guys, what's going on today? Man, hope all is going well. It was a great weekend. I did some old movie watching this weekend. I watched some good Lean On Me, Major Pain. Had to get my Major Pain fixed and my Lean On Me. I think like, man, why you watch both of those movies? But I'm gonna get to those in a little bit. They were amazing. It's always a good weekend to watch those old school movies because they were touching. They just showed so much, and we're still dealing with those things today. Major Pain talks about and teaches discipline, how to be hard. And then you got Lean On Me, Mr. Joe Clark didn't play. And he the head ninja in charge. If you never seen it, you should watch it. Lean On Me got a lot of good things to think about in today's society that still apply, in my opinion. And that's all that matters on here is my opinion, unless somebody say something different. But those are two good movies that I've seen this weekend that I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about them in a minute. But they both deal with the rebirth of an individual. And I think that's the most important part. And they didn't do it alone. So that's what made me bring up this point about Mr. Kanye West. As we all know, is well documented, all the things that he's done, the things that we may not agree with, that we don't like, some things that he said. Obviously, he's done a lot of outlandish things over his career. But one thing that we cannot deny is his talent. And with his talent, his brassness, and his creative genius for the music world and now fashion, he came off and treated people with the utmost disrespect, from Taylor Swift to other individuals. Just regardless of the situation, it was classless, tasteless, because he's Kanye West. He Mr. West. But now to see him on this road and to see him recording in LA, and I still don't know what to take from it. I hope it's all about Jesus because that's what matters to me. But he said Jesus' name, so that's important as a Christian. What matters is we can talk about God all day, but unless we mention Jesus, we ain't talking about the same people. We ain't on the same page. But you got to talk about Jesus died, and rose again for my salvation, for your salvation, for the world. Came back for his precious human being, his precious love. So to see Kanye say this, I haven't watched the sermon, but him doing these Sunday services starting in LA, Calabasas, people going up there, making a trip just to hear this guy, because you cannot deny his talent for music. Can't deny his gift for creativity. And one thing I do want to remind you while we're talking about this is that everybody has the ability to create. We all create in different ways. That's one thing that was given to us by our Creator. We all have a way to be creative, and it's not in the same way. And that's what makes people unique. And that's what God showed his creativity in creating us all to be different, but diverse in mind, diverse in color, diverse in communities, diverse in language, diverse in culture, diverse in every single thing. Just thought itself. In our creativity, we can take a tree out of the ground and get 1,000 different things with it. We can build houses, we can build chairs, you can do whatever it is, stands, ladders, whatever you need, firewood to stay warm, to cook food. There's many different uses that every single person can take that one thing and make something totally different with it. That's the unique part about it. That's the one thing we cannot forget. I think it's glorious to think about. I think it's something that just uplifting to look at and to view the world through the eyes of the creatives, from the Creator. And we all have that ability to be creative. So speaking of Mr. Kanye West and seeing what he did this weekend and mixing the music and his 10-minute, sermon, his 10-minute worship service, which that's what I think he does. He's worshiping through music, and that's amazing. And in that, he's moving people. And he's trying to figure it out. I read that Kim Kardashian said, she did some day talk show. He said initially it was for healing him, which that's what we all have to remember first. Healing ourselves first. Which we can't heal ourselves, because only God can do that. But we can help in the process. And one thing to be healed, if you're really looking for being healed in the mind and the soul and the physical form, most importantly is the mind, because the physical form, you may not ever be healed in that form. And it might be for a reason. So always ask for the mind to be healed, and that will always be granted to you because it's the one thing that protects all of us. It's the one thing that protects the person itself. If the mind goes, who cares about the physical. So, so to hear Miss Kardashian say this was initially to heal himself or to find healing, and now he found healing. Now he feels he has a new purpose in life. And it's always great when you can have a new purpose. It's always great when you can do the new thing. And it doesn't seem to be a trend or a fad. It is something he seems to be genuine about. And it's drawing people all around the world. Now, for me, selfishly, as a Christian, it's amazing if he's standing for the same thing that I'm standing for. If he believes in Christ the way I believe in Christ, then this is amazing because the world is watching him for his music and his art first. And sometimes you have to do that. They have to see who you are first before they could ever hear about this guy named Jesus, this Lord that you serve. And I think it's amazing to see this gentleman here who now is 42 years old, finding himself again. Who we know we can all be lost at times when we lose loved ones, when we just can't seem to grasp the people around us, and you can't trust this person or that person, this person backstabbed me, and then on top of it, you just allow every single thing in. It can lead to your demise. It can lead to the compromise of the mind. Now, I know everybody that listens to this isn't a Christian, and that's great because they're all the ones I want to talk to. And also, I want to talk to everybody. Christians too, because we don't have it together. But I like to let the people know who don't believe what I believe and everybody else. Every Christian out there, we all know that for the most part, people that live right and understand their purpose in life, understand that they're flawed in life as well. And being flawed, trying to fulfill a purpose is tough. So that's why we all use Christ. That's why we need Christ in our life to make it perfect. So in our pursuit of happiness, in our pursuit of salvation, in our pursuit of other souls and discipling to other people and learning to follow certain leaders and learning to do all that you can to better build the kingdom up, you see things like this happen. It's all necessary, it's all needed, because we're all working together. And that's what I think is beautiful, is for me to let other people outside of this belief see why it is important to believe in this. And if they don't ever believe in it, that is fine. It's okay. It's all good. It's all right. It's very good. But it's not very good not to believe, but it's very good when you understand. So like for me, when I want to hear somebody else's perspective on whatever they believe in, I'm going to listen because I respect that person's way of life. I respect how that person was raised. And that's something you have to always remember. And that's something I learned constantly, is that I have to respect the individual. I have to respect the individual for what they are, where they come from, because how can you tell somebody else who's been raised a certain way their whole life that what you're saying is right? And I should serve some guy that, who knows if he existed? Well, you know he existed. But they go like, who knows if he died? Why should I serve that? And you give them the reason why. But more importantly, you walking that way. And that's one thing I'm saying from Mr. West, is that he's walking and not just talking. He seems like he's completely submitted himself to what he believes in. And I think that's great. I think that's important, because too much in this life, we don't dedicate ourselves to anything. We don't dedicate ourselves to much. But to see this man dedicate himself to what he now believes even more, to be born again, is a beautiful thing. You know, just like that relationship that was bad, but then a few years go by and you seem to work it out, y'all both change. Now in this case, Jesus don't change. Jesus is Jesus, but he waited on you to find him so you can be changed and transformed by finding him. On that road to find him, after you find him, just living and trying to reach to that standard is a constant transformation every single day until we depart from this earth. And then we can say, well done. So I like to see this. It's a good sign. It's a good day. It's a great weekend when I see things like this happening in our world, because it is needed. We need people like that to stand up. We need people who have the voice already and the mouth to speak on the behalf of all those who believe in this. See, sometimes, man, you have technical difficulties out here. So right now I got a technical difficulty, but I'm not going to stop recording because they need to see I'm about being real. Nothing in life is completely polished until you leave this earth. You feel me? So you have to just keep going. We're going to work it out. Do a little razzle dazzle here. See, if people are unwilling to stand up, then how can you ever have change? My last episode, we talked about change. Without change, the world just be the same. The world just decay. But change is needed. That's why my tagline is always moving progressively forward in a conservative way, because I hold to my values and my Christian beliefs and everything I believe pertaining to the word because of the Lord that I serve. But I understand that just as he was aggressive in going to get that next soul, I need to be aggressive in helping making that possible on earth. So that's why the company is for the one meeting, because I'm serving the one, and I do it to the best of my ability. We do it. We got to do it. We got to get it done. So that's the thing about Mr. Kanye West that I like, guys, today, that his pursuit, and he has found happiness in helping other people. He knows his passion for music. He knows his ability, but now he's doing it in a humble way. I mean, just think about all the flack he got for talking to Donald Trump, and he called her Uncle Tom and a jigaboo and everything else. And I mean, I understand people in my community hurt by things like that. It's like, come on, Kanye, not you. But I applaud it and I respect it, because that shows once again the power and the power of his position that he's in, to be able to speak to the president one-on-one in the world. Listen, now they can mock you all day. Jesus was mocked. But don't be fooled, because everything in life has a purpose to it. So while y'all concerned about what he does, concern yourself with what you're doing. Everybody makes mistakes. He's made plenty. He's in the spotlight. If you were in the spotlight, let's see what you would do. And nobody can speak to that, because people that live a life in lies, most of them are hiding anyway. So you can dig. I've been there. I live a life hiding. I can admit that. It's just part of it. But this guy lived a life in the public. And he crucified for it, and that's okay, because I'm glad he found his way. I'm glad he's finding something new that's good to help him. Now, there's two things I get from this situation that you should be able to take with you in your life and your walk every single day, just as a human being, not even believing what I believe. One thing is, you got to be able to take criticism, and two, you got to be able to bounce back. You have to be able to bounce back. You have to be resilient. You have to be able to take criticism, because people are going to criticize you whatever you do. You can be short, tall, fat, skinny, blonde hair, black hair, your eyes are blue, your eyes are green. Somebody gonna have something to say about you. Nose too big, your nose too small, your ears too big, your ears too small. You talk with a lisp, you got something. It's something that somebody's gonna find in life that doesn't suit them, and that's fine. Just tell them, hey, respect me for who I am as I respect you. And in those, you gotta try to limit the mistakes that you make, because we do pile on to the problems, onto our own problems with the things and the decisions that we decide to make, just like this man. But he's able to take criticism, but we see what happened. He had a mental breakdown, but he found himself. He was smart enough to step back from his movement, when he was going on tour, actually. He able to step back and get the help that he needed, and he had some rants and everything else, but it's okay, because people still listen to him. So now if he's fully focused, I'm excited if you believe what I believe in Jesus Christ, because it's hard to stop a man like that. It's hard to stop somebody that's completely focused, completely submitting themselves to what they believe in. Now, you don't have to believe what I believe in, but believe that if you can handle criticism, you're resilient, and you completely submit yourself to the thing that you believe in, you can accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish in life. Nothing in life can stop you, ever, at all. And just think about that, man. I want y'all to chew on that for a little bit. I mean, I know he's just been a part of a lot of criticism, but I just like to see people bounce back. Because I've been criticized for things. People have been around me been criticized for things. But the beautiful part about life is, if you live and don't decide to take your own life, and you're able to keep your mind through those things, you have a good support system around you that can help you through those things, and you can find good support systems. You might not find it in friends right now, but they have groups and advocates everywhere that can help you through situations, all kind of programs, until you can find that group of people that fit you. Because there is one out there that will fit you. A positive group now. Don't go out there looking for white supremacist groups or terrorists or things like that. Oh yeah, or gangs. Oh yeah, that fits me, so I'm gonna do whatever they do. No, positive things that add to you, that make you better. Those things only take away from. It only make you hard to the world. Because we shouldn't be hard to the world. We should be loving in the world. And some of us are going to love in the world. It's going to cost us our life. But it's okay as long as you have the mind. And people see, man, he was focused on what he done. He was focused in the time that he had on earth. It was perfect for the time that he lived. Let your time on earth be perfect for the time that you're here. Do the right thing while you're here, so you can say, and people around you can say he did the good thing. He had left a great legacy, and now you're going to pass it on. And that's why I like to see Mr. Kanye West changing around to leave a nice legacy behind. And I think it's only the beginning for this man. I think it's only the beginning. So y'all just stand by and watch him work. If, like I said, I want to say this again, if he's standing for the things that I believe,